Everyone is in their seat as the Heat look to grab a win here in Miami. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. Looking at the last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a loss to the New Orleans Pelicans. Now here's Harden. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. Greg, we're sure to see a lot of quality basketball here tonight, given the veteran talent on both sides.
Yeah, tremendously high IQs from both teams, so expect a clean game. And some of these players have been through it all in this league.
Here's Adebayo. And now here comes Simmons leading the break. Screen by Jones. Harden can't hit. And stolen by Simmons. We're about 1 minute into the first. Unable to get that one. And here's Ivy. Here's Eason. Back to Ivy. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Covington. It's rebounded by Bargnani. And Brent, if the super team era is indeed coming to a close, the Miami Heat were one of the most successful examples.
Yeah, Kevin, you're obviously referring to the Heatles with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. I think there are some fans out there that go back to when it was that they had that press conference and were throwing up 6, 7, 8. And so 2 titles, yes, of course, amazing. Chances to win championships, amazing. Could there have been more? Possibly.
And here's Ivy. Kawhi Leonard getting his 3 to go. Back to Ivy. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Harden left side. Leonard on the wing. It's hauled in by Bam Adebayo.
And he gets a lot of points right there at the rim, but the defense determined not to give up the easy deuce there.
Trying to end the drought. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Good on the shot.
Bam knowing what to do. He's owning the paint right now.
Los Angeles leading by 3. Pass to Harden. There's the triple. Tries to the hoop. Eason grabs the board. And so here is Miami to the paint. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Ivy on the wing. The Heat need to get a shot off. Deep Adebayo. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. You know, Brent, when you wonder why GMs take a risk on Project Big Man, Bam Adebayo is an example of why they do just that.
Yeah, Kevin, it's not always about the project working out. It's about teams that have a plan for the project. And certainly Miami was able to do that. And you have to credit Bam. He put the work in. The guy has been solid. He's an all-star. He's continuing to improve, and he gives you everything on both ends of the floor every night.
Gafford. And Gafford throws it down.
Yeah, use the height, use the reach. Devastating effect, Daniel Gafford.
Harden outside. Down low. Here's Leonard. And then jammed down as he goes right over Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, kind of fun when you see his personality come out in his game like that.
Here's Ivy. Pass to Gafford. And Gafford throws it down.
And you have to prevent him from getting to the paint, unless you want to see a highlight.
Harden outside to the middle. Here's Zubac. Rebound by the Heat. Now Ivy. Scoreless thus far. Here's Gafford. And he hits it to tie the game up.
As a playmaker, Ivy has an interesting upside. If he continues to develop those skills, he'd only increase his value.
Zubac. Rebounded by Gafford.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
To the right side. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there. It's all tied in Miami. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
And you don't see that all that often, getting down there and doing that much damage in a quarter. You got to respect the game plan.
And timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Now, here's Adebayo. Screen by Gafford. To the inside. And Gafford throws it down.
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. A moment for an injury report.
Thanks, guys. I got a status report from Los Angeles' head athletic trainer. Oh, that is not what you want to see. It sounds like it's a serious injury. At such an early point of the season, it's a tough time to lose him. It's disappointing for everyone. Guys?
Thank you, David. Guys, the only thing you can wish for is that the prognosis isn't quite as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Was really hoping for better news than that, but that does not sound encouraging.
Yeah, we always think about when players go down, how terrible a blow it can be for the team. We wish him well and hope he's on the floor quickly.
Inside, it's stolen by Adebayo. Down low. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Gafford's got 4 this quarter.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
Well, G.A. Adebayo came from very humble beginnings.
Yeah, raised by his mother. And Kevin, Bam's main motivation in life was to get her out of that trailer. He worked extremely hard and now arguably a top 25 player.
And timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Here's Rozier. Adebayo the screen. Rozier into the lane. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Robinson from the arc. And again, it's the Heat missing. Clippers trail by 4. With a short break in the action gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Clippers are inaugurating their new arena this season, and they're set to host the All-Star game next season. It will mark the 7th time that the LA area has hosted the All-Star facilities. Kevin, there will be no shortage of stars in attendance.
That's always the way it is in LA. You're so right, David. It ought to be quite a spectacle. And the shot is good.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
To the left wing. Here's Bargnani. It's hauled in by the Heat.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Rozier up top. Back to Gafford. Stolen by Harden. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt. And Brent, you hear some players now having their shooting motion analyzed with optical recognition. More data for the shot doctors.
Well, Kevin, information is one thing, but disseminating that information and being able to communicate that to a player is really where the rubber meets the road. How are you going to help him grow with that kind of analysis?
Here's Gafford. And Gafford throws it down.
That's what he gives you, a big-time presence on the glass.
And you know what, Greg? Once he gets his hands on it, he's not even thinking about kicking it out.
Well, his competitiveness right now is why the teammates love him.
Pass to Dunn from past the arc. Rebounded by Gafford.
Looks like the game plan is they're willing to give him that kind of shot. It worked out for them this time, but if they give it to him again, I bet 3 points are coming.
And just over 6 feet, Rozier plays bigger than that height. He has that great underdog mentality, fighting through the foul.
And that one misses. Brent, when you talk about the Clippers franchise, and you appreciate this so much, their first superstar was really Bob McAdoo.
And what a tremendous talent. You know, most people remember Bob McAdoo with his years with the Lakers. But, man, when he was with the Buffalo Braves, 3 straight scoring titles, was the league MVP in 1975. Sorry, Dad. Some people still consider him the club's best player ever.
Here's Adebayo. And the rejection by Zubac.
Smart defender. Zubac understands how to position himself to come up with blocks. They've been able to have some team success in this game despite what's been an awful shooting night for him.
To the inside. That's in, coming off an assist from Jones. Now just a 2-point Heat lead.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Pass to Covington. Takes the 3. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Covington knocking one down and showing some confidence in his ability.
Over in the corner, Zubac. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Break D that time from Adebayo. Offside Covington. The shot comes out. The deep 3 from Harden. That one doesn't drop. And so it's Daniel Gafford making highlights for Miami. Scoring, rebounding. He was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. We come back right after this. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Miami leading by 5. Ivy with it. Pass to Adebayo. Buries it from 3-point range. Adebayo's got the first field goal of the second half for the Heat.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
Simmons left side. Shot clock at 6. The shot, no good.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
And Wiggins throws it down hard.
And how about the acrobatics from Andrew Wiggins? Way up that time.
Right side, Simmons. And he banks in the layup.
Beautiful timing, execution, great move to the rack.
The Heat with the lead. For Jaden Ivey, the offense, Brent, looks great. Defensively, though, there's a lot to improve on.
Well, sometimes as an individual defender, you can look worse because the team defense isn't there. And so there's been sort of this reflective quality about that. But for Jaden to take on or take the next step, certainly defensively, with all of that athletic ability, he could be elite on that end of the floor.
Drains it! Kawhi! Kaboom!
And by the numbers, Kawhi is one of the most efficient three-point shooters ever.
Pass to Highsmith. The Clippers grab the miss.
And I'm not sure that is a shot that he should be taking.
No, he should know better. He knows that's not his game, which is why we don't see him take that shot often.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And we'll have a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. The Heat leading by 3. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Ivy. Here's Gafford. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Pass to Dunn. To the paint. Gafford with the steal. In transition, here comes Miami. Shot by Eason, no good. Leonard on the wing. 12 points for him. Back to Jones. Beyond the arc. Andrew Wiggins pulls it in. Heat on offense. Leading by 5. Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. And that game concludes a 5-game homestand. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks very much. James Harden is still a factor at age 35. He says, I'm more than a scorer, so for me, it's just impacting the game at the highest level. Kevin, he's led the league in scoring 3 times, but has also led the league in assists. So, it's pretty much true. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Oh, don't forget, he rebounds as well as any guard right now in the NBA. And Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, receiving a record 8-year, $120 million extension. That's some big dough.
Is it ever? It remains coaching for the only NBA franchise he's ever worked for. Already one of the most tenured head coaches in the association, and that figures to continue for a while.
Screen by Leonard. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. People like to debate, and Greg, I don't know if this is you, what's better, Kawhi's defense or his offense?
Well, Kevin, I'll say this. Even if he was a subpar defender, his offense alone would have him among the league's top players. But his defense isn't subpar. At its best, it's elite.
Greg, looking back to last season, the Clippers had one red-hot stretch.
That's right. They went on a 26-5 run between December and February. It finally showed how dangerous that team could be when healthy.
At this point, you might as well go ahead and chalk up the points when he's at the free throw line. Pretty much automatic.
And Zubats has proven that, Brent, there's still a place in the league for old-school centers.
Well, I think he plays, Kevin, with a combination of talent around him that allows him to situate himself right where he needs to be. Impactful around the basket, a huge rebounding presence, a guy that brings some physicality, and he's been in a perfect slot to show why it is he's such a valuable NBA player.
Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Here's Rozier. Here's Adebayo. Shot clock at 5. And Adebayo throws it down.
Now you try your best defensively to push Bam away from the rim. That's easier said than done.
26 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Harden. It's blocked. And so the ball is out of bounds. Rozier touched it last.
Substitutions for your Duncan Robinson.
19 seconds left to play in the third. Clock at 4. Here's Bogdanovic. He gets it in there.
And now they're shooting it pretty well. That was not something we would have said in that first half.
And Adebayo throws it down.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
And after defending on the shot, he doesn't give up on the play. Follow that straight to the glass for the rebound.
And so it's Miami holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. And so it's Harden bringing it up for Los Angeles. After this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Picked by Bargnani. Puts the move on. And the rejection by Gafford.
A superb defender, Gafford, using that wide wingspan so well.
Clock at 6. Pass to Dunn. And he's good on the 3-ball. Dunn's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Clippers. Here's Ivy. Ivy on the wing. Off target at the rim.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And we'll have a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle him up right away. So both teams making some changes here. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
During that break, Eric Spoelstra had some words for his team. While the team is up, Coach doesn't want his team to let up. He told the team to finish this game. Do not think this will be easy. We've seen comebacks before. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Heat.
They've been active defensively, rotating well, and then also closing out on shots. It's resulted in a number of blocks.
And another difference maker that we could point to tonight has been second chance points. They've been in there, they've had active hands, they've been in great position, and they've been smart attacking the offensive glass.
Here's Wiggins. Trying to get open is Adebayo. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. Clippers trailed by 3.
And still early in the period, and they're only one foul away from being over the limit.
Third team foul.
Miami on defense. Outside Leonard. Miami grabs the miss. Left side Covington. Takes it inside.
Well, teams want to get Covington off the three-point line and make him uncomfortable, but he shows you he can finish off the bounce.
And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. And that'll be his third foul so far. And the Heat making a change here.
Foul number 4. Now in the game.
And here's Leonard.
17.
Pass to Zubac. And Adebayo sends it back.
And Bam with the emphatic block.
Wasted no time on that one. And now it's an 8-point Heat lead.
3-point shooting since the half has been about as good as you could ask for.
And Tyronn Lue calls timeout. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Clippers trail by 8.
Clippers substitution.
To the middle. And he can't jam it through.
Well, you can tell right there he just wanted to go for the jam, but the defense too good and distracting.
Pass to Adebayo. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. Here's Harden. It's not going to go for him.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him find his touch and still be a factor. Don't count them out yet.
Covington's shot is off.
Ooh, he missed an easy chance to put some points on the board. He won't get a much better look at that kind of shot again here probably tonight.
Bargnani in the corner. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And that shot isn't the one they should be taking if they want to make this comeback happen.
Ivy up top. Into the lane. Pass to Adebayo. And Adebayo throws it down.
That's the guy they're going to keep going to, as they should. The lead's only going up if they keep feeding him.
Now Bargnani. Outside Simmons. To halt the run. That one drops for him.
And the closer Simmons gets to the rim, the more dangerous he becomes. I love watching him in attack mode.
And we'll have a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. 1:44 left here in the fourth quarter. Now Ivy. Driving the lane to the inside. Covington. That shot, no good. Simmons with the defensive effort. .116 left in the fourth quarter.
And you know what? He had to clear some space for himself to get that rebound. Not an easy one there among the big boys.
Now, here's Ivy. Jacks up a three. That shot off the mark. 55 seconds left in the fourth. On the wing, Jones. No good from outside. Heat on offense. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. Here's Ivy. And he drives in. And the layup's good off the glass. Ivy's got the lead up to 10 now for Miami. Bargnani up top. Hits it out to Harden. Gets the three-pointer to fall. The shot and game clock separated by 4. On the wing, Wiggins. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good.
Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one. It's over.
Do you want to keep expending energy, or do you want to start thinking about the next one?
And so it's the Heat winning this one.
In the trenches, looking at my life through different lenses. Like when my heart was full of vengeance. Not good, but bad intentions. Somehow the Lord kept me unharmed. The Lord kept me unharmed. Kept my head up under his arms. Head up under his arms. I had a cross for a charm. Cross for a charm. The chosen one when I was born. Real Stevens, I'm the proprietor. Wait for my company to get acquired. 200,000 strong. One day I'll have enough to buy my grandchildren homes. Generational wealth. What you doing? Boss move. Boss move. What you refuse to do? Refuse to lose. Refuse to lose. I'm just trying to win. Win. Congratulations. Boss move. Boss move. What you refuse to do? Refuse to lose. Refuse to lose. I'm just trying to win. Congratulations. Once I Christian the mic and get on top of the beat, it becomes an instant classic when he 40 speak. My lyrics poke out just like a widow peak. I go like I got Fetty to fetch. Refuse to lose. Ain't no recess commercials or interludes. Right now I'm off my own. I'm at the crib. And it's this new to your. But I'm still not out of the woods yet. Even though that I'm. Project English is my language. Ghetto slang, broken English. It's hard to crack the code and distinguish. BR, before rap, I was famous. What you doing? Boss move. What you refuse to do? Refuse to lose. I'm just trying to win. Congratulations. Boss move. What you refuse to do? Refuse to lose. I'm just trying to win.